Training camp rolling on here at One Jets Drive. A lot to get to today, including a first look at the unofficial depth chart and a conversation with Jets legend Braylon Edwards.
We'll beat anybody in the world, and I think we're going to win next Sunday.
It's picked off. Aaron Glenn. Jumbled and caught. Jumbo Elliott. One-handed catch. To the spot. Gets running room. It's Reeves. Can't wait.
Put your seatbelts on and get ready for the ride.
Official Jets podcast is presented by Kendra Scott, the jewelry company that's shining bright and doing good. Shop game day ready jewelry styles and so much more at kendrascott.com. Before we get to our great conversation with Braylon Edwards, I just wanted to go over the first unofficial depth chart that was released by the Jets communications department. Let's touch on every one of the position groups quickly and start with the defense. It all starts up front, so we're going to the defensive line. Quinnen Williams, he's dealing with a calf injury and is expected to miss a week or two. It's an injury he's dealt with before, and the Jets are going to play the long game. Jermaine Johnson, as we all know, he's returning from the Achilles tear. He's on the active PUP list, and Aaron Glenn believes he'll be ready for Week 1 action against the Steelers. So with Johnson down, Michael Clemens is placed at edge across from Will McDonald. Byron Cowart, one of 3 veteran defensive tackles signed in the offseason, is listed with the first team next to Williams. One young player Steve Wilks called out was Peyton Page. It will be interesting how the front office views Cowart, Jade Tufele, and Derek Nottie in a couple of weeks. Let's go back another level and talk about the linebackers. Quincy Williams believes the Jets had the best linebacker tandem in the NFL with him and Jamie Sherwood. I'm not arguing. Those two are dynamite. They've been all over the field. The real question here is with C.J. Mosley gone, who is the Jets' third linebacker if the green and white go to a 4-3 look? The communications department right now has Marcelino McCrary ball there. After amassing 243 special teams reps the past 2 seasons, I like what I've seen from McCrary ball. He's got a knack for finding the ball. And it's early in camp, so we'll have to see how that progresses because there's a lot of competition. You got Jamin Davis, a former first-round pick of Washington 2021, Zaire Barnes as well. I like Francisco Kiko Mayanoa's game, and he's listed as Sherwood's primary backup at the mic. In terms of Mayanoa, he's going to be a core special teams player, and he's a thumper. Okay, let's go back a level. Defensive backs. Sauce Gardner, he's having an excellent camp. He had multiple PDs on Saturday, and he's excited about his role in this defense. They're going to be doing different things with number 1. Brandon Stevens, free agent addition, he's really picked up his game this summer across from him, and he's also big and physical. Michael Carter at that nickel spot, he's back healthy, which is huge. And Aaron Glenn called out Quantez Stiggers recently for his push. Now, safety is a spot that's fascinating to me. Andre Cisco has been really good. I like his size, and Steve Wilks said he's got his weight down from last year in Jacksonville, so he's moving very well. Tony Adams, if you're out here at practice, dude's very vocal, and he's all energy all the time. The Jets also really like Malachi Moore, who's been dealing with an oblique strain. Isaiah Oliver can do a little bit of everything, and remember, he played for Wilks in San Francisco a couple years ago. New York Jets mini plans are on sale now. Lock in the same great seats for 4 matchups at MetLife Stadium. Plus, receive exciting benefits. Packages start at $156 per seat. Buy now at nyjets.com/miniplans. All right, let's flip it to the offensive side of the ball. The communications department on the depth chart has only one rookie with the first team, and that's right tackle Armand Membu, the number 7 overall selection from Missouri. Now, he's going against Will McDonald often out there, and Will several times has gotten the better of those matchups. But McDonald has said Membu can definitely hold his own, and he's going to be one of the best tackles in the league. Speaking of one of the best tackles, Olu Fashanu is poised to take a big leap in year 2. He's had an outstanding camp. The center battle, it's been well documented. And the unofficial depth chart has Joe Tippmann ahead of Josh Myers. But that's ongoing. We're going to have to see how that plays out. Elijah Vera Tucker, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about him a little bit. He's having an outstanding camp. And the Jets are operating right now without left guard John Simpson. A couple of depth considerations here. The depth chart has Max Mitchell and Chooks or Okorafor with the second team, and Carter Warren slotted with the third team. Xavier Newman's versatility will have to be in consideration come final roster cuts in a few weeks. All right, let's go to receiver. Okay, we all know it starts with Garrett Wilson. Superstar, elite athlete that defenses know is going to be a focus every week. I believe Tanner Angstrom is going to make it hard for opponents with this system because they expect number 5 to always be on the move. Now, everybody's talking about that number 2 spot at the receiver position. The Jets list Josh Reynolds and Alan Lazard with the first team, and they're followed by Tyler Johnson and Xavier Gibson. We'll have to see how quickly Gibson can return to practice after sustaining a shoulder injury last Saturday. One guy I want to talk about here quickly, Arian Smith. He had a practice last week that was super encouraging. Now, Justin Fields probably would have been sacked on this play, but the Jets let it continue, and Justin Fields threw a beautiful vertical moon ball that Smith came down with, despite Sauce Gardner being right there in coverage. Later in that same practice, Smith's lined up in the red zone. He is an absurd release off the line of scrimmage, and he hauls in a touchdown pass from Tyrod Taylor in a situational drill. Now, we all know Smith's got great speed. He's a 4.36 guy, but he's also physical. We know he's going to be a contributor on special teams. I'm wondering how much Arian Smith can get on the field offensively early in the regular season. He's got a rare skill set. These next couple weeks are going to be huge for him. Finally, Jamal Pritchett, not only is he playing receiver, but he's also listed as a second punt returner and third kick returner. All right, let's talk about the tight ends briefly. Jeremy Ruckert, he's placed with the first team, but make no mistake about it, the Jets are pumped about Mason Taylor. This is a guy who consistently shows up in the pass game, and Aaron Glenn has complimented Taylor's blocking on multiple occasions. He's a player of pedigree, we know that, and his teammates know this guy is going to be a good one from the jump. Speaking of Rucker, I like his toughness as a blocker, and we saw that on one of Fields' touchdown runs in the green and white practice. He finishes dudes. Speaking of the green and white practice, nice day for Stone Smart. He came over in free agency, of course. Let's see how Smart can possibly build off of that and where he fits in. Running back. I love this group. Breece Hall has the right mindset. He's been talking about production over potential. Aaron Glenn is convinced Hall is going to thrive in the system. We all know he's a complete back, and the Jets are going to get him the rock in the receiving game. If he is faced against a defender one-on-one, any linebacker, the Jets are going to Hall. They're going to pass him the football. He's a matchup problem. Braylon Allen, huge dude. He's returned after missing a couple of practices with knee soreness. Now, big back, can excel in short yardage, but he also can run away from guys in open field. Isaiah Davis, nice job on Saturday, which included a couple runs and a great grab on a wheel route. The Jets list fullback Andrew Beck with the first team, and Kene Nwanwu as the fourth running back. Finally, last but certainly not least, quarterback. Justin Fields is expected to be the Jets' fifth different starting quarterback for a season opener in 7 seasons. We saw it all from him last week. On Thursday, Fields excelled in situational periods with his arm and his legs. One drive stood out to me. When he needed a touchdown with 31 seconds left, and he took over at the plus 41. First play, he rolls to his right, and he hits Tyler Johnson for 25 yards. And he calls timeout, and on the ensuing play, he delivered a rope to Mason Taylor for a touchdown. Showed great command in those situations, including a 4th down conversion with his legs. Now, you fast forward to Saturday. He showed how dangerous he is in that rushing game with 2 scoring touchdowns. If you're going to turn your back to Fields in coverage, he's going to produce explosive plays in a hurry. Then there's a power game, an element there with Fields as well. And we saw that on a short touchdown run. He fouled Ruckert, showed his speed to get to the corner, and was not going to be denied. Justin Fields has a lot of tools, but sometimes it's not always going to look perfect. Again, he's learning. This is a new system, and this is new personnel. All expected. Tyrod Taylor, one of the league's better backups, and Adrian Martinez and rookie Brady Cook are battling as well. Okay, let's take a break and come back with Braylon Edwards. Jets game day is better together. Bring a group of 6 or more to MetLife Stadium and take advantage of preferred pricing, access to on-field experiences, and more. To book, visit nyjets.com/groups or call 973-549-4590. Braylon, what was it like being back today?
I guess I can take my credential off. You know what I'm saying? Now that I'm done walking the grounds, it was good. It was good to be back out there. I always loved being back in Florham Park with the Jets, and it's the only acceptable place to wear green and white. You know, I'm still very much Michigan.
That's right.
But it was cool. It was good to see the energy out there with Coach Glenn and the players. It seemed like the tempo and just the physicality was much different than I've seen in the past.
So we'll get back to practice here in a moment, but what have you been up to?
Get my own show, the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep. We're 5 days a week we're international, but YouTube, streaming, it's fun. Dialing into sports, finding that voice again. We talk about baseball, basketball, football. It doesn't matter, golf. Interesting, funny things. And just back in the faith, golf, family.
How's your golf game?
It's getting good. It's getting good, man. My handicap is coming down, if you will. Start of the year probably around like 19. I'm down to 15.8, so I'm excited. It works for me.
You were always a great talker and also very good with the media. When you were a player, did you envision that post-playing career wanted to get in this space?
When I was playing, I never wanted to be in this space because everyone told me that I could do it, and it was just kind of like the thing. You finish playing football, you finish playing sports, then you become an analyst. So I didn't want to do it. I fought it for a while because I didn't want to do what people told me I was going to do or what made sense. But I like it. It's a way to keep fresh. It's a way to stay around sports and add my opinion into things.
All right. So let's get your opinion on Jets practice day. Green and white. So you had a lot of move the ball situations. What are you looking for as a former player who's coming to camp for the first time to see what Aaron Glenn is trying to install here?
I looked at the mistakes and the intensity. I wanted to see how many mistakes were being made on offense and defense, and what was the intensity level like. The intensity level was high, and the mistakes were few. You had a few stoppages, but that happens in training camp, especially early. Looks like the guys are buying in. It looks like the guys are flying around, and that's good. That's what you want to see, and it looks like each team has a little bit of chemistry.
You being where you're at, right by Detroit, you watched them rebuild that thing. How do they do it? More so, aside from the personnel, because obviously they had good players, but can you talk about the steps and what you think Aaron's going to try to do here?
The players, the talent didn't start that way. Yeah, they were a little bit less than when 2021, but they were honest and they were authentic. Dan Campbell came in and said, look, it's going to be a 3-year process. This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to build this thing out. And they did. And you watch the steps take shape. With Aaron Glenn, man, he got those guys to be physical on the defensive side of the ball, and how he was as a player at the Jets, I think you saw that reflect in his players that played for him as a D coordinator for the Lions, man. He does this great job of balancing discipline, physical hitting, tackling the whole 9 yards with a little bit of fun here and there. So it keeps you kind of centered to the thing that will be the Jets.
Does it resonate with you when he comes back? He was just at the podium addressing the media. He said, it hit me today. He had tears in his eyes saying that the fans were here and it just hit him and he had a moment and how much it means to him.
This is a real thing. I think he got a chance to watch that kind of take shape with Dan Campbell being a former Detroit Lion and then coming back and then being the head coach and kind of starting that. And I think this is the same for him. He is one of those really, really, really good Jets that we've had in the last 30, 40 years here. And now he gets a chance to turn that ship around and tank the Jets into a better situation. You see the fans call the name. It'll hit you. I'm pretty sure.
Do you like that as a player, how direct he is? He's encouraging, but also he's going to get after your ass if you make a mistake, and he's not going to beat around the bush.
Let me know where I stand. Just let me know where I stand. And that's what he does a great job of. Don't say one thing over here and something else over here. Just tell me what it is. I can process information. And I think that's what he does. He gives you the information to process. And once you have somebody I was talking to Tyrod today, and he said, look, we're older players. You know what I'm saying? Me kind of one of the oldest players in the league. Just tell me what it is. Let me digest the information, man, and then I can build trust in what you say. And I think that's what it is. Once you get players to trust you, you got them. Yeah. You got them. I mean, players just want to trust. That's how it was with Rex. Rex would tell us what it was, whether we wanted to hear it or not. And he did it with a big smile, but he would tell you the things. As many times he told me, yeah, you gotta do this. You can't do that. But when people tell you that, you take the information better.
Do you sit there and watch practice and say, man, I'd like to be out there a couple more plays?
Nah.
No?
Nah. I'm good. I made my peace with the game. Yeah. Like it's fun. I still love the game. It's fun to watch. I'll catch some passes on the sideline. That's cool, but I don't miss it like that. I don't miss it to where I want to be out there. I enjoy watching. I enjoy watching as the game has progressed. I enjoy watching the nuances of, receivers at the line of scrimmage and how they're getting off the press releases and how they're catching passes, the athleticism that they're now daring to try. So I just like it. It's fun to watch.
What do you make of Justin Fields and what you saw today? Because he was getting it done on the ground.
Yeah. Justin Fields has elite legs. I don't think we knew that at Ohio State. They never really ran him like that. I didn't know he could run like that until his first year with the Bears. But having a dual threat option, a quarterback that can throw on the run, he can burn you with his feet, they create big plays down the field. You got number 5. You got G. Wilson, who's been waiting. And now he's got his guy that he has that rapport with, that closed eyes rapport is what I call it. Those guys can close their eyes and know where they're at in the field because they've been doing it for so long.
Do you think teams are going to be very apprehensive to play man against Fields? Because we saw that here at practice today. They were right around the red zone, and they were clearly playing man. Fields took the snap, and he's like, okay, you're going to give this to me? I'm taking it.
I think Justin Fields will get away with a lot of things earlier because I don't think teams are going to fear the Jets. I don't think they're going to fear the dual threat option. I think they don't look at the Jets how we look at them. They don't look at what they're going to be. They don't look at what they can be. They look at what the past has been. They look at what the bleep show has been. And I think he's going to get a lot of leeway early, and I think he's going to bury some teams because they're going to take him serious. They're going to take him lightly, excuse me. So week 3, week 4, I think you'll start to see teams spy that situation.
Yeah. Do you think they can lean on the run game? Do you think this is the way it's setting up when you look at that offensive line? Nobody's over 27 who's going to be a starter there, and they've made a lot of investments up front. Most recently, drafted Narman Membo in the first round.
100%. A lot of investments, a lot of youth. And so you got rid of a lot of those injuries, a lot of dynamic ability up front to hold for Breece, hold for Braylon, hold for insert guy here. So excited to see what that is. Breece Hall is an electric back. We saw that his rookie year. We saw that last year in glimpses. I think now that you have a consistent offensive line, you get more. And Braylon Allen, he's a stud. I don't just say that because we're the same name, but I like his ability, man. He's fast. He's physical. Also, they don't know how good out of the backfield he is catching the pass yet.
I feel the same way about Isaiah Davis. So it's like a 3-man committee. Davis was out there popping today, making a catch on a wheel.
Don't sleep on my guy from Michigan, Donovan Edwards.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Yeah, fingers crossed on that situation. But yeah, no, Davis, Allen, Hall, you got some guys that Justin Fields can really utilize in this offensive weapon.
As someone who played this game at elite level, what do you like about this offense that you saw in Detroit last year? Ben Johnson was the coordinator. You got different personnel, but the passing game coordinator comes over here to the Jets. It's Tanner Engstrand, and he'll put his own stamp on it.
It was just fun. I think they kept you off balance. They kept teams off balance. Talking about Detroit and how they were able to have success. They kept teams off balance all game long and all season long for the most part. They never really did the same thing, and you just attack weaknesses. So I like that aspect. Keep teams off balance. I think a lot of times teams get stuck into the same dang-on routine, the same things, and it makes it easier for the defense. Keep it hard for the defense. Make them have to continuously think throughout a game, leading up into the week of the game. So when you do it that way, you have some excitement. You have a lot of success.
Garrett Wilson, 3 consecutive years with 80 receptions and 1,000 yards, catching passes from 7 different quarterbacks. Now he's been reunited with his former Buckeye teammate in Justin Fields. What do you like most about Garrett's game?
First of all, go blue. Just had to get that out there. No, Garrett is, I talked to him today too. He's just a patient guy, man. He just loves the game. He loves the art of being a wide receiver. He loves the craft of working. People that want to put the work in, you just instantly kind of fall in love with him. And 7 different quarterbacks and 1,000 yards each time, that's ridiculous to do. I played with 9 different quarterbacks in my first 4 years. 1,000 yards 3 different years in a row, that's unheard of. To have to go from this guy throws the ball with this velocity, this guy throws the ball with this velocity. Oh, by the way, how many offensive coordinators did he have? How many position coaches did he have? So to be able to stay dialed into the game that much and still be productive, I'm excited. Now you got, like I said, his guy from college, and they're linked and synced in like this, and also he has that dual threat. It's going to be a fun year for Garrett. Oh, by the way, he got that bag.
Yeah, he did.
Got that bag, deservingly so.
Both him and Sauce, after 3 years, how much does that impact the locker room that the organization has said, hey, listen, these dudes are really good players, and we're going to make sure they're not going anywhere?
I don't want to bring up Detroit because we're talking about the Jets, but that's what they've been doing. Like, look, they paid Penei Sewell because he got drafted. He worked his butt off. He showed promise. He showed the things he was supposed to show. They rewarded him. Amon-Ra St. Brown, they rewarded him, and the list goes on. It just creates a good chemistry in the locker room. It just creates a good feel because if you're a guy that's next up, or if you're a guy, you're like, they take care of our players. You know, I know that if I put in the work, if I do what I'm supposed to do, this is what's waiting for me. It creates peace. Like, it creates peace. It's less of a distraction. Look what's going on in Dallas. Like, do you want to be that team that you got one of the best players in the league having to, I want to get traded, and then you have a wide receiver on that same team who got paid last year come out and lobby for Micah Parsons and C.D. Lamb? He's like, I don't know what they always doing is pay this man. That's a distraction like no other. Pay your guys. Like, that's what you do. You draft a guy, and you tell a guy, hey, look, I'm drafting you, whatever the pick is. I think Garrett was 4.
Garrett was 10 overall.
10, excuse me.
Sauce
was 4,
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
You draft him 4, and then they go all-pro year 1. They Pro Bowl again year 2, and they've done the things. They've been on the field. What are you waiting for? Right. Yeah, so I like when guys get paid when they deserve it. It creates good energy in the locker room, too.
What's unique about Garrett's game? We talked about his production, but as far as what he's at, where he's at physically, and also how he runs his routes.
He's an interesting wide receiver because he's freakish athletically. He does a lot of things well. You know those saying, jack of all trades, master of none. He's like that, but he's a master of all of it. Like, his athletic ability, he's only 6 foot. I've seen him jump over DBs when he wants to. I've seen him go up, climb the scales. I've seen him on the sideline. His footwork on the sideline is some of the best in the league at the wide receiver position. Route running, he's an elite route runner. He's wiry and weird in how he moves. Like, I don't even think he has ACLs, to be honest. How he moves with the wiriness, I think it catches a lot of DBs and a lot of people off guard, yards after catch. And he's a leader. And I think he was trying to lead in the last couple years, but not necessarily able to because of whatever. But I think he is a natural-born leader that is going to lead this team. So I don't think he's a jack of all trades, master of none. I think he's on his way to be master of a lot. I really love his game.
Do you really enjoy catching up with a young dude like that? Like, you had an opportunity to today?
I like catching up with all wide receivers, all players, period. But when players, they tap back into the, I guess I'm called an old head now. When they tap into the old heads,
you can't call yourself an old head.
True. I'm OG. I'm an OG. But the first time I talked to Garrett 2 years ago, I went up to him. I introduced myself to him. I said, hey, Garrett, big fan of your game. I like the number. He's wearing 17. He said, man, I know who you are, Braylon. Man, I grew up in Ohio. He said, I grew up at the time. He said, when you used to play for the Browns. So that created like this relationship, this vibe with Five. Nah, he went back and got his old number, but I like that when players tap in and they know it just makes respect.
Yeah, that's very cool.
I think it's a respect thing. We grew up in a different era, so like when I came in, I had a ton of respect for the older guys, and it kind of trickled down. I like to see this younger generation when guys can do that.
AG is all about having length and size outside at cornerback. What do you think of Sauce, his first few years in the league, and now what might be different with the new coaching staff?
Same high school. Let's start there. Detroit Martin Luther King. He went there. I went there as well. So shout out to Detroit 313. First year, it was easy for him. He was all pro. He had a hell of a year. Great defense was there. Year 2, still a good year with some challenging things. But then year 3 happens. It's a lot more challenging. It's distractions on the distractions just within what the Jets were going to be. And I think as a young player, finding your way through that, coaches getting fired, it's tough. I think now he's re-locked in. He's healthy. He understands the game. Football is a game, but there's a game within the game. And I think he now understands the game within the game. I'm looking for a big year from him. His sidekick is gone, and it's going to be on him on that side. I think he understands that, so I'm excited.
I actually really like what I've seen out of Brandon Stevens out there, a former Baltimore Raven. He was all over the place today, and he brings a physicality to the game as well.
This is just an energy that Baltimore players emit. Like, I played in that division for 5 years. Like, Baltimore is one of those, it just brings physicality, speed, like just awareness and excitement the players do. And he's bringing that to the Jets, and it couldn't be better.
How would you go against Sauce if he was against a prime Braylon? Yeah.
I'd let him get his hands on me.
You would?
I would. See, he's a big DB. He wants to get his hands on you, and that's kind of like where he feels comfortable. I'm a big wideout, and I feel comfortable when DBs put their hands on me because I can get them off. I can ride them to the last second. All right, here we go. Boom, boom. Put your hands on me. Get into my route. Get a little something at the end. I would let him get physical.
Yeah.
Like, because I would get him out of his game. Or I would try.
Yeah, you would try.
I would attempt to get him out of his game and play that game with him more so than just trying to out-route him and things of that nature.
Okay. All right. That's interesting. How often do you think about 9 and 10 and what you guys accomplished here?
All the time.
Do you really?
All the time. Like, we're supposed to win the Super Bowl. Like I say it all the time. Like, take your pick. Take your pick. Which year? Like, we were supposed to win the Super Bowl. 09, we would have beat the Saints. We would have beat the Saints. Was it the Saints or Green Bay?
It was Saints, I believe.
It was the Saints. We'd have beat them. Like, we'd beat them. And then in 2010, that was the year. And we get to the AFC Championship yet again. Somehow we found our way back, and the Steelers were not good. The Steelers were not good that year, but I digress.
So you say every day?
Yeah, like the goal of my life was to get to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl. Like, that was the goal. It was to win the Super Bowl. We put ourselves in situations, but just fell short. Those teams belonged in the Super Bowl.
That divisional playoff game against New England, I was looking back a couple days ago. 3rd and 5, Jets up 7-3. Slant from Sanchez. You were not going to be denied, were you?
No, not at all. Like, at that time, you had to fight for the ball. Like, it's Santonio, it's LaDainian. There's plays for Sean Green, Dustin Keller, Jericho. We had a great skill set wise. So when you got opportunities, you had to make the most of them. Right. So when I got that slant, I was like, oh, no, I know what was going to happen on this one. I knew he was going to over pursue on this side. I knew Merriweather didn't want to hit. So if I caught it, all I had to do is Mark get the ball on me. I'm going to find a way to get in the end zone. And the rest is history. That play is like the play, I think, for my career.
Yeah.
It's, they were #1 seed, talking this is Tom, this is Gillette. This is semifinals and playoffs. To beat them there, to have that moment there for the team that I love more than anybody, that was the moment for me.
That was amazing.
Yeah,
I'll never forget LaDainian coming off the field. He had tears in his eyes. And then Bard, of course, talking to Sal Pell.
Can't wait. Flight Boys, the backflips. It was a lot.
Yeah, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. So you played on a team in offense here with Mark early in his career, ground and pound. What's that like for the receivers being in an offense, knowing that, hey, predominantly we're going to start with the ground and that's where we want to set the tone?
You got to take yourself out of the equation. That's how you got to play in the ground and pound offense. I went to the University of Michigan, like we're a running school. There, guess what? They're still a running school, and this is 20-plus years later. You got to have fun with the game, man. When you win, everybody gets a piece. I enjoy blocking. Big physical receiver. I enjoy blocking guys. I actually prefer starting the game with a run so I can smack a safety than starting it with a pass. But I think my seat just disappeared.
We're We're gonna raise you up. We're gonna raise you up.
That's right. Let's raise it back up. But it's fun. You know, you got Thomas Jones and Sean Green, leading the league in rushing in 2009. It's fun to be a part of that.
Yeah, the reason why I asked that is these guys in this offense should be able to benefit from a strong run game as far as starting with Garrett and then down the line.
It's fun. Like I said, you got LaDainian in 2010, Sean Green again in 2010. It was fun. I block for those guys. They have success. Now, when it's a passing game, if LaDainian picks up the blitz, Santonio's got a 60-yard touchdown. If Sean Green comes in the game and gets a little chip, or Braylon's got a big first down on the back end on a post route. So it's tick for tack. I block for you, you block for me, we win. So I don't mind if I'm not getting the ball. Are we winning? Are we doing things the right way? Like, are we benefiting from, having me block all these 300-pound guys? If we're not, and we're doing all this, now I got a problem.
All right, I got to get you back to the Motor City, but let's leave on this one. What do you think about the potential impacts of Mason Taylor, the tight end from LSU, who's really popped out here during training camp, and then also Brees and the rest of the guys out of the backfield? Because you mentioned Braylon Allen being a dual threat. It's all going to start with Hall out of the backfield, and that guy's versatility is off the charts.
Yeah, we saw what he was doing at Iowa State. That's kind of the first time I put eyes on Brees in terms of what he was doing. But having a versatile tight end like that, I don't think we've had one, that has that type of athleticism to where you can even line him out as a wideout. You can line him out of the wideout. You can bring him in the backfield and do some things. When you create weapons like that, now weapons that you already have become even bigger weapons because now they get lost for a second. So mix Braylon Allen in there with a little bit of that. It's going to be fun. Justin Fields is going to have weapons, so it's no longer, well, we don't have this or we don't have that, or if we had this. Well, last time I checked, it's looking pretty good. So it's going to be a fun season.
Great seeing.
Great seeing you as well.
Thanks, buddy.
All righty.
All right, time for our extra point. It was awesome catching up with Braylon Edwards. When the Jets beat the Patriots in that divisional playoff game that we were talking about back in 2010, Edwards had 2 catches for 52 yards, including that late touchdown in the first half. It was a play that symbolized everything those Jets were about. Now, looking back at the box score that day, Mark Sanchez completed 16 of 25 passes for 194 yards with 3 touchdowns. The Jets ran it 29 times for 120 yards. The game has changed a lot since then, but these 2025 Jets are built to pound teams on the ground. There are going to be a lot of jabs and body shots and relentless punches to the midsection. They're going to keep on hammering away. While much was made about the penalties during Saturday's scrimmage, and Aaron Glenn has promised that things will be cleaned up, one thing that stood out to me from the positive end is the backs in Justin Fields' dual threat capability. Okay, we have a game Saturday night as the Jets will get preseason action underway against the Packers in Green Bay. And we'll check in early next week. Thanks for listening and watching.